Hello. 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 My name is
Dee-Lovely.
When one is considering a drag career and trying to experiment with how they can change their face and their appearance with theatrical makeup, very few concepts are more important to master than the concept of contouring. At any rate, the concept of contouring is quite simple in theory.
Contouring refers to reshaping the face's features to highlight some areas while making others recede. This is important to define your features, especially when on stage under bright lights. Possible areas to highlight include the T-zone, the brow bone, the cheekbones, the eyelids, above the jawline, and the chin.
Okay, so this is a very, very dramatic representation of the areas of the face that a lot of performers do highlight. I typically only stick to the cheekbones, and you can already see how much it makes them pop. Now, putting a heavy coat of a loose powder using a brush like this onto your cheekbones is not only going to serve to highlight your cheekbones and make them pop out, but if you do it quite heavily and dust it away later, it will catch any fragments of eyeshadow that you apply. Because if you've ever worked with a black eyeshadow or a dark eyeshadow, you know that a lot of products tend to crumble. And if you don't have something there to catch it and lightly dust away later, chances are you're going to have a bit of a mess and a smear of whatever color you're applying.
Now, the other half of the contouring concept is shading. Shading certain areas of the face causes them to recede, can define bone structure. Areas to shade include the hairline, the temples, the hollows of the cheeks, the eye crease, the sides of the nose, under the tip of the nose, and under the jawline. To effect a youthful glow, I also suggest lightly dusting the apple of the cheek with a pink blush.
You'll notice that when I do this, I use several different products. You can do contouring not only, as I said, in your foundation in different liquids or creams, but you can also do this with both pressed and loose powders. If you're tan and you're looking for a sun-kissed complexion, then I would highly recommend you use bronzers. Similar to this in varying shades. You can also go so far as to use loose powders that are dark and perhaps marketed to ladies with much darker ethnic skin. If you have a creamy complexion and you don't tan well and you're very, very pale, then rosy and plum tones tend to work best. Now, I do want to take the opportunity to explain why a lot of performers tend to do some contouring around their hairline, and that definitely helps if either you may have a large forehead or if you have a receding hairline. The best example of a really good contouring job, and one of the people that I studied in terms of doing this originally, was Tyra Banks. You will note that she quite often is painted very much like a drag queen. Some performers do choose to use a stencil, and I do. I just use a simple piece of cardboard that I've cut just so I have a straight line, and that works really well when you get to your cheeks and your temples, and I'm going to demonstrate this for you. as you can see, you have a very, very distinct line at the temple. And that's going to make the cheekbones that you've created with the contouring pop even more. Now, as you can see, it's not perfectly blended yet, but if you go back through with the powder puff and perhaps a little bit of the loose powder that you originally powdered your face with, you'll find that it ultimately blends quite well. And by fading inwards towards the center, starting with darker colors and fading inwards with 2 or 3 different variations of the same shade, it's going to give your face a little bit more depth and convincing contouring to it. Now, a similar manner can be used to construct your cheeks. And as you can see, I don't have very prominent cheekbones, but in using a similar theory of blush and bronzer, you can definitely make yourself look as though you're Cher without spending thousands of dollars on plastic surgery. Now, of course, with any kind of makeup tutorial, I do want to once again clarify that the techniques I'm using on my face are what I've learned and used for years because I knew that they work specifically with my face. Again, they may not work with yours, but I am offering some tips and tricks that you might want to take and modify for your own face. And maybe you'll have success on your own, but remember that makeup can't necessarily fix a bad attitude, and no amount of cosmetics can fix an ugly personality, so I encourage you all to be sweet, send good vibes out there, and have a great time, hopefully experimenting with ways to make yourself a little bit more sparkly.
Hello. 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 My name is Dee-Lovely.